of their latest report, they just invited the military. What we want, we have the right to know what they are up to, in the sense that without prejudice to their independent and investigative process, in the sense that we want a situation whereby the security forces were involved in the investigative process. If they ask case by case what has happened or what we are doing about it, definitely we will give them. We have established procedure in terms of disciplinary or relating with the public, to the point that we have an established human rights desk, and we have been interfacing with other stakeholders. Take, for instance, the National Human Rights Commission, the Nigerian Bar Association, and a host of other NGOs, in which, because it is in line with the Nigerian Army's focus that the promotion and protection of human rights is part of our military operations, and we have been doing that. But unfortunately, they will sit down and do things in their own way, then they will come up and say, okay, we are bringing the report. And I can rest assure you, as of day before yesterday, I got a word from a lawyer friend that Amnesty would like us to come over for launching a report, of a report. I mean, how do you relate that to what they were alleging? They have not been forthcoming with us, and definitely our doors are open. We want, to promote and protect human rights in the course of our operations. And Amnesty International should assist us in so doing. Not that they will sit down and concoct reports and start make spurious allegations.
Then how did you come to the conclusion that Amnesty International is planning to destabilize Nigeria?
Yes, we come to the conclusion because time over time, they don't look at the other sides of the story. All their reports were one-sided, attacking the very symbol of national unity and cohesion, that is the security forces. And their aim is to make sure that that symbol, that symbol of national unity and national strength is totally destabilized, so that they make room for the Western interest to come in. And they have been doing it in several ways. To even their reports, take for instance in the Northeast, most of their so-called witnesses, we have credible information, they are not per se victims, but families of confirmed Boko Haram terrorists that are moved from, where they were to comfortable hotels and concoct reports. And similarly, it happened in Port Harcourt. We have the evidences. And if you look at the relationship between them and most of the dissident groups, sponsoring people like Amnesty, the relationship between Amnesty International and Islamic Movement of Nigeria, and so many other things.
But are you aware of that report in, I think it's either in Riyom, in Plateau State, or is it Miango? I'm not really sure now, but in either of the two areas, in Miango or in Riyom, of the military being asked to come for help, come and help the people. The people were practically begging when they were under siege. And in that particular attack, people lost their lives. Would you say that the military, in that case, did not respond in time to protect the lives of the people?
That is not true. You look at the issues of the conflicts on the plateau from the perspective they occur. And in fact, when I saw that aspect, I got in touch with the commander, Operation Safe Haven, and I can rest assure you that is not true. That is not true. There is no way the military will be complicit in, killing or even harming Nigerians they have sworn to protect. And if there is any problem like that, if it is reported, definitely appropriate disciplinary measures will be taken. But I can rest assured you, it is not true. Rather, it is the military that have been losing their lives.
Have you had reports also about attacks that were carried out with men in military uniforms?
Yes, there was instances of allegations, especially in the conflicts associated with Plateau State, where there were allegations people would just wear kind of security forces uniform. But that does not mean that they are military forces. We have means of identification. And there is no way individual or a few group of people will just wake up and start doing things on their own without clear orders, without clear chain of command, and proper means of support and legal establishment for them to do so. So
while that is not
the fact that you have
while that is not,
permit
me to come in here again. While that is not disputed, did you investigate? Did you investigate that kind of report when you got it, that there are people that are wearing military uniforms? Did you investigate it?
We do investigate, and the outcomes are always made public. And where there were instances of infringement or deviation from the rules of engagement by our troops, definitely we don't condone any human rights violations by any of our personnel. And that is why in most cases we even have standing court martials. Take for instance, even in the Northeast, in 7th Division we have a standing court martial, and in Army Headquarters Garrison in Abuja we have one. In 82 Division we have one. In 2 Division we have one. So automatically, if there are issues, of indiscipline or unprofessional conduct,